not a servant forever, I mean, more like a servant throughout their, um, of course, the entire life. Though a woman has not been mentioned in that which precedes, it must not be assumed that her position in West African society is not very important. Indeed, she matters in every way. She figures less openly in public affairs than men, but her influence doesn't that also sound very familiar? We had a woman, they would mostly be house pets in the scriptures. That's what a woman's supposed to be. She's just supposed to be mostly in the house, watching over the kids. Of course, if you can afford servants, that can afford the woman a little bit more time to herself. But once again, she was mainly supposed to watch over the kids and watch over the house while the man would work. Or if he was a warrior, he'd go off to battle. Or if he was an artificer, he would be doing his thing. But she was not very seen in the open. Her traditional power is perpetuated by mainly her strong feelings of sympathy and community with members of her own sex in a collective, though not individual, antagonism against the other. Neither her husband nor his family or clan ever acquired any authority over her, which is wrong. We were going off back then. We were believing in that whole mystery school system, collective antagonism against the other sex, which of course the whole mystery school system is all about playing the two sides against each other, and of course veneration of the mother goddess, the woman, the feminine principle, which of course we don't believe in that, in which Mother's Day just came up, and of course I didn't celebrate it, and I hope you brothers didn't either, because Mother's Day is going off. In the days of old, Mother's Day was used to celebrate female fertility goddesses, and of course, we don't follow those likenesses of the heathens, nor the shadows of their former pagan holidays. We don't involve themselves. We don't involve ourselves with them. And plus, Mother's Day is fake anyway. Beyond it being pagan, and of course, paganism is witchcraft is punishable by death. It's also very fake. I mean, if you want to just show support to your mother, why not just like visit her? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't gotta. It's so fucking stupid with this society sometimes. Like, why don't you just, if you love your mom, just support your mom. Like, you give her help. You'll help her with the bags. If she gotta cross the street, help your mom cross the street. You know. But some not everyone's gonna have that ability. Some people, you can have a mom like that who's very like a feminist. Well, woman. It's just she thinking, I do it all by myself. So when a woman like that who doesn't have humility, you gotta just kind of just step back. By marriage, your husband acquires the usufruct of her sexual qualities and nothing more. Spiritually, politically, and economically, she remains a member of her own clan. She resents and effectively resists all interference by man with matters affecting women. Litigation between women are settled in the first instance by female dignitaries. Even execution of a criminal woman used to be performed by a female executioner, which that is complete and utter nonsense. The Africans, woman, most affected woman is a general strike. Let one be affected by a man, and the whole womanhood of the community will side with it and maintain separation. A total and mensa. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's look that up. A total and mensa. Let's see what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay. Which is probably not shit. I'm gonna come right back, man. Okay, we're back. The damn thing shut off for a moment. So let's go back to here. By marriage, your husband acquires the usufruct of her sexual qualities. Which once again, just wanted to go look that up. Usufruct just means a limited road right found in civil law in mixed jurisdictions. The United States two property interest of usus and fructus is the right to enjoy a thing possessed directly and without altering it. Which I guess we kind of have that within our the truth, a woman, we have right to our woman. A woman becomes our property. As long as we don't mistreat her, you're not supposed to, snap your woman's neck, fucking suplexing woman. I mean, doing drop kicks and spinning back kicks and shoryukens on your woman. You know what I'm saying? She's not supposed to be walking around with a goddamn limp because, you know what I'm saying, you're always trying to play Tekken with her and, she doesn't know how to block. She resents and effectively resists all interventions by mere man and matters affect a woman. Okay, going back down. In the whole womanhood, the community will side with her and maintain a separation, a total ad mensa. So total ad mensa, from Latin table and bed, more commonly from bed and board. This phrase designates a divorce, which is rarely akin to separation by court, whether by husband or wife are not legally obliged to live together, but the marriage has not been dissolved. Neither spouse has the right to remarry, or there's a divorce and mensa et toro. Only parties who have been avoided divorce a vinicolo matrimony, the most common type of divorce. Let's go back to it. I don't think that's exactly what they're talking about here. Oh, yeah, it is. It's just a divorce and suspension of all household duties, including cooking, till the offender is severely punished. So all the women back then would work together. So if you would get on a woman's nerves, then there would be a divorce. She'd leave your ass and she'd stop cooking. Everyone would stop cooking, and presumably all those men would get together and they'd whoop your ass for whatever you did to upset that woman. Which, that's of course biblical. We had elders shame our brothers for things that they've done. I believe in one, I can't really remember it. I think it's in Deuteronomy, maybe around the 18th, 19th, maybe. I'm not exactly sure, but it talks about how if you have a woman and you don't like your wife and you want to get rid of her, like you've had sex with her and you found later on that this woman really isn't for you, and you start talking that nonsense, they were supposed to shame you and you were supposed to keep the woman and deal with it. Not only were women counselors, I may have gotten that wrong, but you brothers double check me. I believe it was only if you took her by force, you found in the field, you couldn't let her go, even if you don't like her. But you double check. Every kingdom had its queen mother, who in the olden days was the real head of the clan, which is complete and utter BS. We weren't supposed to be doing that. But once again, as you can see, this entire kingdom is biblical kingdom structure intermixed with Canaanite mystery school systems. Was real head of the clan, delegating part of her applause to her male kinsman, the chief. In the newly formed kingdom, her voice was weighty in the selection of a new king. She might proclaim him, crown him, or withhold the royal treasure from him till he had proven his worth. Once again, female worship. When if your tribunal retired for deliberation, it was said that the chiefs went to consult the old woman, and it was in her name that judgment was pronounced. There were even in the 18th century queens in their own right, and though it would be incorrect to call them virgin queens, they never married, nor did they allow their Leicesters and Potemkins to interfere in matters of state. I'm going to pause and come right back because I'm about to hit the 10-minute mark. Alright, so I'm back. There were even in the 18th century queens in their own right, and though it would be incorrect to call them virgin queens, they never married, nor did they allow their Leicesters and Potemkins to interfere with matters of states. Which Potemkin means lover, pretty much. When you look up Potemkin village, Wikipedia, the term comes from stories. Let's actually start at the beginning. And in politics and economics, a Potemkin village is any construction, literal or figurative, whose sole purpose is to provide the external facade to a country which is faring poorly, making people believe that the country is faring better. This is what America does all the time. The term comes from stories of a fake portable village built solely to impress Catherine II. Oh, well, good lord, she's ugly. By her former lover, Grigory Potemkin, during her journey to Crimea in 1787. Which, historians argue that it's not real. Really, that, this thing is more of a exaggeration, but, whatever, man. We really don't care about that. At that point, in 1700s, 1800s, Jake's kingdom was already torn down. The Renaissance already ended. The Reconquest already ended. So we were in slavery at that time. So interfering in matters of state. So that's pretty much saying that the woman, the queens, did not allow their lovers to interfere with the matters of state, which you're not supposed to have women leading, obviously, for the obvious reason that they have periods and other issues. And really because the female is really created to be our servant, which you can read about that. And let's see, we're actually done with this chapter, so we can just go to Genesis chapter 3. That should give you a pretty basic telling. Yeah, my internet's really bad right now, so okay, it worked. And okay, yep. Unto the woman, Genesis chapter 3 verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Which, you also got scriptures suffering out a woman to teach. Women are not meant to teach. Women are meant to remain quiet and mainly be house pets. Like how you have a dog and you open the door and the dog come running to you. That's what the woman is supposed to do. And actually the woman is more happy when she does that. It's in their nature to be jumpy and happy, to be, when you open the door, that she comes to give you a hug and a kiss and say, oh my lord, your royal bath is ready. And you get in the bath and you finish in the bath, and then she has a hot meal ready for you. And men today, right, when a woman does that for them, they say, man, this woman she cooks for me, she cleans for me, like it's something that's special. No, that's what a woman is supposed to do. A woman is supposed to cook and clean and be ready to carry out all of her feminine duties and wills. And whenever you want it, she has to be ready to give it, man. Because if she doesn't, then you're just going to take it. Wherever there was a portal, there was also a Sende or Bundu, an association of female initiates which embraced all adult womanhood of the clan and had identical methods and aims as portal. In the Sende, schoolgirls were initiated just like the boys in the portal. Which once again, the whole illuminated ones more than likely took inspiration from our secret societies that we created, which is, of course, we were going off back then, and then the illuminated ones took over and they just copied and pasted what we did. And you of course got that today with Halle Berry, and Halle Berry is a part of that group, the sisterhood they call it. And whenever you see the little Oscar shows, that's just the illuminated ones playing with each other. They said, all right, you did a good job for the sisterhood. We're gonna give you an award. Elaborate and servant societies arising in consequence of the slave trade are naturally relatively modern. They were formed to defend the population against the greedy kings and chiefs who attempted to sell their own subjects to the slavers. Clothed in the skins of leopards and provided with iron imitation claws, the members executed such breakers a tribal law. Sounds kind of like the Zealots, huh? The slave trade gave rise to many similar societies in various parts of Africa, and one of these aiming that the expulsion of the white man from Africa had ramifications from the Nile to Mozambique, from the east coast to the mouth of the Nile River. It is still spreading. But you got these warlords. They've kind of taken up the mantle of this, but they're not really doing too well. Just to say the least, they're not doing too well. The past shows the native of West Africa capable of concerted and persevering action when he aims at social ideals. Under the present impact with European influences, Africa is pregnant with the new world, and if all goes well, will give birth to a new culture truly African, but different from all that of the past. It will borrow from Europe with discrimination that which is better and most appropriate to Africa's natural environment, throw overboard many of the institutions he cherished in the past. If we want to corroborate in the shaping of the future, we must, above all, study carefully and sympathetically his time-honored customs, beliefs, institutions. Which, of course, he was going off towards the end, bringing in that whole... Oh, shit. When did it fucking go off? Okay, it's still on. For a second, I thought it shut off, but we're still good. Okay. He was going off towards the end. Mainly in talking about studying the African, which we're not African, we're Israelites. That's number one. We're not no dirty doo-doo butt Africans. We're not no bone-and-nose Africans. We're Israelites. And it also sounds like he wants all the people to collaborate together, which, you don't just put people in slavery and then try to fucking collaborate with them. If you want the people and really wish them well, you gotta leave the land first, give them back the land, and leave them alone. Which they're never gonna do that. And that's why the Lord is gonna come back for us. He's gonna save us from this world. We're gonna take our land back by force. Alright, so that's pretty much all the scriptures I got today. I really wanted to go in on this. And hope you brothers enjoyed the video. Shalom. Alright, shalom. I just wanted to come back. This is probably going to be the last part. So I just thought it would be cool, since we talked about Portal in these secret societies, that we might as well take a look at some of these pictures of these actual guys in action. And that's not really it. No, that's not it really either. This one, look, this guy has fringes. So-called Bana Portal tribe where members slice their mouths and spare themselves in mysterious rituals. Which, once again, that's blood sacrifice that's going off, but you can kind of see that our whole traditions never really went anywhere, though they were mixed up and our people were scattered amongst the many nations, and we never really did away with anything. Which this one over here looks kind of like fringes at the bottom. But mainly you can see it in that one, Sierra Leone, and I believe that is in West Africa. And look, these guys seem to got fringes at the bottom there. Let's see if we can zoom in. I want to zoom in a bit more. Look at the bottom. Those look like fringes at the bottom there. Maybe vaguely. You really can't see it with this one. I mean, not all of them are Israelites. I mean, you got some Hamites mixed up in there, but they're Jake, man. It's Jake for sure. Alright, so that's all I got. Let's look at this one. So this is the female version. Um, oh yeah, that's I'm not gonna say that word, the fetishism thing, man. It's witchcraft nonsense. Ah, look right there. That's fringes. It's no coincidence, man. It's not a coincidence. Nothing is a coincidence. These are our people. Look, I mean, the fringes are of course a little off, but those are fringes. That's our people, man. Let's see if we can find any more. Alright, well, it looks like I'm not gonna find any more, but the point of the matter is that these people are in fact the Israelites. We come out of those West African tribes. We people in America, we come out of those tribes. Those are our people, and more than likely, once upon a time, this was us. This is our people doing this nonsense. All right, so that's all I got, and shalom.